Come on, move in. There we go. And inuktitut first, udlakut, kuyami kayun kawasitan at tusayak sanun, uvangali Jeffrey Ungalak Maurice, Nunavut mitogama, ang yukak tungilinga, Qikiqtaaluk Corporation Corporation udlumi tamani Qikiqtaaluk Harry Flaherty, Qikiqtaaluk Corporation ang yukanga, amatok Qikiqtaaluk Corporation ixibautanga. Talikpingani John Risley, ang yukanga QADC, amatok Sean Leet, ang yukaka QADC. In English, thank you. Good morning. My name is Jeffrey Maurice. I'm Vice President for QADC. Thank you for joining us as part of this media event on the Qikiqtarjuaq Deep Sea Port. With me today is Harry Flaherty, Chair of the QADC, as well as President of the Qikiqtaaluk Corporation. And to my right, I have John Risley, co-founder of QADC, and as well behind me is Sean Leet, also co-founder of QADC. We're here to talk to you about the importance of the Qikiqtarjuaq Deep Sea Project, not just for the community, not just for Nunavut, but as well for Canada. So with that, I will hand it over to Harry Flaherty.
Thank you. I will be starting off in Inuktitut, and I'll switch over to English. Sivulome, Koyanami Ramalunga, Mani Unakjawata, Unikara to Simatilita, Qikiqtarjuaq, Tulatobinga, Pidjutigilu. Dan Pigutigilwata, Batan, Akuniwatu, Tan, Qikiqtarjuaq, Hausa, Samagalwatilugo, Imakotibu, Nunavumi, Atokta in Naman. Kisiani Nunavum Torangiman. Dan Sivulapama House Rayumalugo. Amalaipa Umayo Hatiata, Ehalo House Tutalu, Imakotibu, Umayo Hatninga. Amalutano House Rayumalugo, Tan Turatavi hanging Nibu, Ehalonagan Pillow after me, Nuno Asiano. Niwagay after show what Manahai Akahayang after $1 million, Samanigala Akahasho, than to show Maholutigo. Amatautan, no house legal argument, Yamatan, a Pidjutigilu, Qikiqtarjuaq, to let up binga. Kina Yolio Naman, Canada mo Ilagayoman, Nunavut between down with Tuni, Canada mo Ilagayoninga, Dan Tukisio Simaga Hamiman. Amalu. Tanatau Tukisha Saweli, Tan Qikiqtarjuaq, Tulatobinga, Sanayaw Nerninga, Inun Sanayaw Langaman, Inunulu Naminagayaluni, Inunulu Torangaluni, Tan Tusaw Mahoya, Tusaw Maja. Amalutau Tan Tulatobi, Pimagutilu, Canada Miman. Hano Hina Opalega Subtilu Hanukina Veliotisani, Tan Nunabu Mokiokto, Ipigiang Learning, Dan took Ipigia Canada Hammer, Dan no house Regumia, Dan Pimageuman. Amatau Dan Kavisin the Rota, Kavisigal on the Rota, Nunan Nepolari Yasmagata, Kavisigal on the Patana, Akago after me 2026, me Pigia Magadatigo, Dan Civil Lapagum, Takwa, Takunalu. Ilisakayaw si Majuid, ang iyuti, tan Qikiqtarjuaq, tulatobinga, atuin naw nakpaguman. Tan napidjutigilu, tamani kutigiyabu, tan asoti, kandagamulutigo, tan nagawmato hakul, ikayoktaw bisem, hanu ikayokatigin ng mutan, unikakayat sumagatigo. Tan inyuti ohawsa ikayaktabu. Amalutan ilang halunari ohakay ng niyama. Again, thank you. For far too long, the water of Nunavut has been benefiting other regions and other countries. For example, our waters are rich in fisheries and other species, and most of the time, unfortunately, in the fishing industry, we're unloading somewhere else, other jurisdiction, for example, Greenland. or part of Canada. That alone is costing us at least $1 million in revenue base per trip. Well, this is one thing that I like to say. We talk about tariffs. We talked about other within Canada benefits that we could work on. Unfortunately, the North and the Arctic is never on the radar. I think it's about time Canada government need to focus on what are the beneficial for Canada. It's Arctic. It's that one particular area. And one of the areas that we're been focusing on, Qikiqtaaljuaq Port, this shovel-ready project is only one of all these other great projects being identified for major projects. This particular project is the one that could shovel-ready in 2026. And this is the message we're sending out. We want to partner with the government, of the federal government, to start working on this project so we could proceed in getting the project going. All the other projects that have been identified are great projects. We support them, but this particular project is the shovel-ready. And one of the reasons why it's shovel-ready is because one of the things that we have to look at, looking at Northwest Passage, for example, this is the corridor of the Northwest Passage. And with the amount of activities that will be moving forward in the near future, I strongly believe, this particular project is the one federal government should be focusing on and supporting at this moment. In moving forward, as I has always said, Arctic sovereignty, Arctic security is part of what we do up in the north. We're in the Arctic. We are permanently located there. So as part of this reconciliation regarding on the sovereignty and security, this particular project is the one that we all should be focusing on. And I said in the initiative, when we look at the opportunities and we talk about east and west projects in Canada, we don't focus on what's happening in the Arctic. We only focus on east and west. I think it's about time the government, federal government, should start focusing on the north. So the north is a corridor for economic opportunities and the benefits that will enhance Canada, like other countries are doing. For example, in Siberia, what they have done is they built 11 deep water ports. What do we have? Nothing. Look at our neighbors in Norway and other NATO allies. What they have done, they had spent and they have created and built their northern sector. What we have done here in Canada, we haven't done anything. So it's about time we move forward and get government and the private sector and Inuit-led projects to move ahead with this particular projects in Qikiqtaaljuaq. Thank you. I'll give that to John.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Jeff, and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this opportunity. So as Harry has said, this is really a catalytic moment for Canada and for our government, and I say that because we've got a Prime Minister who has brought the importance of the Arctic and sovereignty that is not recognized by countries like Russia and our friends, the United States. And to establish sovereignty is a really important point if you think that this is really and truly part of what makes up Canada. So how do you establish sovereignty? You do it in a number of ways. One, of course, is economic activity. Another is physical presence. Another is communications, investing in infrastructure. And as Harry has just outlined, we have been woefully negligent in terms of our obligations to the Arctic frontier, really for the past 100 years. So why is our announcement significant? Because it is about a partnership between an Inuit-led organization and the government in moving forward aggressively on this agenda. And you'll be aware that there are a number of major projects, all of which are great in their own right. There is only one project that is fully permitted with environmental approval, with the support of the local community, that can start construction right now. And that's the port in Qikiqtarjuaq. And I say catalytic moment because to a very large extent, the government's agenda and its credibility is resonant in being able to actually demonstrate that something is going to happen. It's great to talk about it. It's great to give social license. It's great to broadcast the fact that this is now an important issue, but at some point in time, we actually have to do something. Something has to happen. We hopefully represent, if you like, that coming together between private sector, Inuit community, and government in actually making something happen. And we are bound and determined, as you will find out, to make this happen and start construction in the spring of next year. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, John. My colleagues have covered the main points around the opportunity that we have here for the country, but let me highlight to you some of the amazing aspects of this port of Qikiqtarjuaq and the opportunity that Canada has. We're immediately adjacent to the prime turbot fishing grounds, and as Harry said, our catch mainly all goes to other regions, but mainly it's exported to Greenland. That represents over $100 million in GDP to the territory and about $1 million in wages on an annual basis, and that's set to increase as more vessels are in place to assume the quota that's available now. There's a 3,800-foot airstrip there now, immediately adjacent to the port. That can be extended to be able to have a tactical fighter base, and we've had some discussions with Defence around that. There is interest in Defence having a facility there because of increased activity in the Davis Straits. So it's a true dual-use facility. The fisheries aspect of it, being able to offload our catch and ship it to markets from the north, is extremely important. The community is very supportive. They've been waiting for this project for over 15 years. It's deep water. The bathymetry is such that it drops off very quickly, and phase one will give us 10-meter water depth at the dock face, and further phases will get out to 12 and 14 meters. So the largest ships in Canada's fleet can be docked at our facility. The distances in the Arctic are vast. There are no other ports in the immediate vicinity that have deep water capabilities. This would be very unique, and it's at the gateway to the Northwest Passage. This is where all the traffic will pass, and having this fuel stop and stop for offloading wastewater and taking on pot water and all the services that you require at a port are incorporated into our designs. Again, true dual-use facility. Search and rescue is, we're challenged in that area. There's not an abundance of search and rescue support and search and rescue base to support the activity that we have in the area, and the increased commercial activity is going to be extremely important going forward. The tourism represents another opportunity that the community is very anxious to get at. Currently, they have limited cruise activity because there's no facilities there. The passengers have to board Zodiacs to get into the beautiful national park that Qikiqtarjuaq is at the edge of. So having a larger facility where these cruise ships can come alongside will generate more activity in the area. This is an enabler of further critical mass. It doesn't cannibalize other ports in the area. It helps build the Arctic, claim our sovereignty, and offers a massive opportunity for us to have an increased presence for security in the region. Thank you.
I guess we'll take some questions from media if you have some.
Good morning to you all. I'm Neha Bamel with Nunatsiaq News. I just had a quick question regarding funding, which is a two-parter, if that's all right. In September, we were quoted that the total cost of the project is around $200 million or over $200 million, of which, as you know, 53.5 or 4 million has already been secured. Is that the same amount that we're working with currently?
No, there's been some updated numbers on that, and Sean, I don't know if you, or John, you
Sure.
want to speak to that?
So the latest numbers are estimated to be $350 million. That'll be in its first phase, and there'll be, as Sean has said, multiple phases of the project. And there'll be sort of the business plan will focus on various tenants, including a base for our new submarines, including a Coast Guard base, including a base for transport generally. Fishery is going to be a big component, to Sean's point. 56,000 tons of seafood caught in the Davis Strait were landed in Nuuk in 2024. We would hope to capture a portion of that activity. So there is a very strong business case for a portion of the cost, but as Sean has said, this is a multi-user facility.
Thank you for that. And the second part to my question would be, what brings you here to Ottawa today in terms of funding asks and support? Are there any members of Parliament that you have met or hope to get funding and support from here in Ottawa today?
Yes, one of the reasons why we're here, we are here today, we've been working on this particular project initiative for 15 years. And part of that initiative has been that we've been working on environmental, government, Nunavut have been working on environmental impact reviews and so forth. But we just feel that today is the time to come here, put it in front of you and say, Canada, we are ready. This project is ready to go. Let's work together and get this initiative going. On the areas of funding component, I'll leave that to my colleague to answer if they need it. But overall, it says the message is that we're ready, shovel ready, Inuit-led. Come on, Canada. Let's go and work together. Thank you.
On the business case going forward, it stands on its own. We do need government support to kickstart the project, and as we discussed, this is key for sovereignty. This is key for security in the area, and we're in discussions with Defence and Coast Guard about becoming an anchor tenant of the Port of Qikiqtarjuaq to give us that kickstart that we require and allow for the dual use aspects of the facility to unfold as time goes on and we're able to build the business.
Thank you so much. No, I'm all good. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the time we had for this press conference. Merci, c'est tout le temps que nous avions pour cette conférence de presse. C'est ce qui met fin à la conférence de presse. This concludes the press conference.
Thank you.